What's going on, everybody? Kyle at Outlaw Harley-Davidson. Today I am here with Spencer, one of our master technicians, been with the dealership for over 6 years. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna go over how we certify our used bikes, what we do when we take them in on trade, or if we purchase them from somebody before we put them out on the lot to sell. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to Spencer, let him cover a few things.
How's it going, guys? This is Spencer here. So first and foremost, on any used bike checkover we do, we have this sheet right here, and this is just a generic checkover list of the basics you would check over on any vehicle that you took in on trade. First, what we do is we take it out on a test drive, check for drivability, runability, make sure everything's good to go. There's nothing noticed on the test drive, no bumps, wobbles, shakes, clunks, anything like that. Once we come back and we put it up on the lift, we give it a quick once over, see if there's anything we can notice right out of the gate. And then we go to our checklist here. The checklist has everything from brake pads to radios, electrical switches, fluids, tires, everything. So make sure the tires have good tread on them. They're not too old, not cracked or anything like that. After that, check your brakes, make sure you have plenty of brake pads. Coming around here, go to the engine, make sure there's no leaks, no scratches, no damage to anything, the bike hasn't been laid over. Come over here, follow your lines, make sure your brake lines, your oil lines, your fuel lines, nothing's rubbing, wearing on anything. Check your tire on the back, same thing as the front. Make sure your tread is good, date code is good, no cracks, no dry rotting spots. Check your belt tension, check your brakes. On this bike specifically, we have laced wheels. There is a specific method to checking that. I will get into that briefly. Coming over to the right side, make sure everything else looks up to par. Your electrical wiring right here, make sure nothing's rubbing there. Everything's nice and firmly mounted, no damage, no cracks. I will pop your air cleaner cover off to check and make sure your air cleaner is good, not too dirty, see if it needs to be replaced. Come over here, make sure everything actuates properly. Once you do a full walk around, come over here, check all your electrical switches, make sure your headlight, brake light, turn signals, high beam, low beam, make sure all the electrical components work. For the spoke checking, there is measurements for that. I won't get into all the measurements, but basically what we're trying to do is make sure that this wheel is straight. You don't want it going side to side, up or down, any hops. That is the point of the test drive. So the first thing I will do is I will get my fork wrench right here and just kind of go all the way around the rim like that. And what you're looking for is that kind of tuning sound. You don't want a dead spoke. If you hit it and it makes no sound whatsoever, that's a problem. If I run into that, where I hit a spoke and it has no sound whatsoever, then I'll bust my dial gauge out, set it up, check the lateral run out of it. Make sure it's not too far side to side, too far up and down. You can kind of spin it and get a general idea, but measuring is the best way to do it. After that, once you've verified, front tire's good, rear tire's good, the wheels and everything are good, come around, make sure everything's tight. Foot controls are tight, exhaust is tight, shocks, belt guard, axles, hand controls, mirrors, turn signals, headlights. Anything that is a critical fastener needs to be tight and up to spec. After that, we'll come over, check all your fluids. Got engine oil here, transmission primary oil on the other side. Check those, make sure they're good. We do have a service link where we can look the VIN up and see if it's been in any other dealerships, see what work it's had done, when it was done, what dealership did the work, so that can kind of give us an idea when the bike was last serviced. And that can kind of tell us if the fluids need to be replaced or anything of that sort. Coming back to the other side here, I will swing this around so it's a little easier. Checking the charging system, make sure that the battery is up to par. You don't want to get stranded anywhere if you stop for gas or anything like that. So right here we have a tender plug. All bikes nowadays, within the last 5 or 6 years, come stock with one of these on there. Some of the older ones, if they don't have it on there, we'll put it on there on the used bike recon. To check the charging system, I have a little tool that I just plug right in there. Start the bike and run it at an idle. Don't need to give it any throttle or anything. Idle is perfect. Make sure the charging system is charging at the proper voltage. If it's not, we'll delve into it further. Check the stator, rotor, voltage regulator, all that. If we run into any issues, we'll go from there. But basically just make sure the charging system is working properly right out of the gate. Cables. Clutch cable, throttle cable, make sure they have the right amount of play to them. There's a spec for it. Just make sure that you're not steadily in the friction zone when the clutch is out, you're burning it up or anything like that. So get longevity out of everything that you possibly can. Same thing with the throttle cables. I will back them out just like the clutch cable. Make sure they are fully adjusted, properly adjusted, and lubricated. Make sure that everything is working exactly how it needs to be working. Once you do your entire check over, make sure everything's up to par, find out what needs to be fixed or replaced, make a list, turn it in, and wait for approval. Other than that, move on to the next job, keep going.
That's all we got for today, guys. Hey, make sure you do me a favor, smash that like, hit that subscribe button. When we release new videos, I want you all to be the first ones to know about it. We'll see you next time.